In this video I'm going to show you how to use Whiteboard.fi, which is a website version kind of like Jamboard, where the teacher in the room can draw on their own whiteboard, which will be displayed to all the students, and all the students who are in the room, they each have their own whiteboard where they can either type or draw their responses, and the teacher is able to see all their individual responses live. Like if they all had a whiteboard and were showing it to you in the class if you were asking for them to answer a maths question or fill in the gap with a foreign language word, if it was like a gap fill for a sentence. So it has got quite a couple of different good uses, and it's a bit more powerful than Jamboard in terms of how easy it is to get the information back from students and to be interactive. So the first thing you need to do is go to whiteboard.fi, and when you first get onto the website, it's going to ask if you want to make a new class or join a class. So you want to click on New Class, type in your name. So once you type your name in, there's a couple of different settings that you can have a look at. There's only really two of them that I think are important for you to think about, which is enabling the students to upload images and also enabling a waiting room. So if you enable the waiting room, it means that you have to then let the students in once they've asked to join, and if you disable the image upload, it means that they won't be able to upload images. So if that box is ticked, they will be allowed to upload images, so you might want to leave that one turned off for now. When you're happy with the settings, just click on Create New Class, and the students will then need to be sent this code either via email or put it on the Google Classroom. So the students then, on their devices, they need to go on their phones or on their iPads or anything else that has a touch screen, and they need to go onto their internet, type in https://whiteboard.fi/ and then type in that 5-digit code. So for this one, it is G8RU2. Alternatively, you can just go onto whiteboard.fi, and then rather than clicking on New Class, you would click on Join. And then when they've searched for that in the phones, it will push them to the joining room where they type their name in. So that's my name. And there you go. So you've got these two tabs on the computer screen. When you're a teacher, you can see your class and your whiteboard, and you can toggle between these whenever you want. So you've got your whiteboard with your different options for drawing, erasing, text box, lines and arrows, different diagrams, and if you wanted to upload a background or an image. And then in the class tab, that is where you will see a tiled view of all of your different participants and what their whiteboards say. On the phone, you can see at the top there's a button for Toggle Teacher Whiteboard. So if I click that button, I now get a view of the teacher's whiteboard. So on my device, I'm using a Surface with a Surface Pen. So I could type in hello. And that now, as you can see on the phone, is now filled in the box with hello. There's a slight bit of delay, only by a second or two, but it does give you pretty much a live feed of what the teacher's screen looks like. So that is what the student sees on their device in the teacher window. And then if I scroll down to the box where the student can write in, if I reply with hello, and if I go to the class tab on here, you'll see that my box now says hello. Smiley face, and there it is. So that's what it'll look like with the students. They'll each have their own individual box which will pop up with their name, so you can keep track of who's who. There's a couple of different settings that you can choose from if you click in this cogwheel at the top. Some of these are just the same settings as they were when you were setting up the classroom if you want to turn them on mid-session, such as the lobby, enabling the students to upload images, the slow mode and the simple mode, which are all settings from the beginning. You can choose to hide the names if you want to of the students. You can also lock the room so no one else can join. You can clear every single whiteboard that the students have written on. You can save the whiteboards, and you can close the room, which shuts off the session and makes that link that you would have sent out no longer live. That doesn't work anymore. So those are just general settings that you can choose. Within each of the students though, if someone has written something inappropriate on their board, you can click on them, go to Actions, and you can either erase the whiteboard, which will force it to clear. You can save the whiteboard, you can kick them, or you can paste what your whiteboard is currently showing onto their screen. If you do push the teacher whiteboard to the students, it would then allow them to edit something that you've drawn originally. So if it's something that you want them to fill in, you could then send it to them and they can edit it, and you can see how they've edited it. Those are a couple of settings that you find from within one student's whiteboard in the Action setting, but then there's also general settings in the cogwheel at the top. So the functions and how it works when you're a student is you've got an option at the bottom for clear whiteboard. If you click on clear whiteboard, that's now cleared. You've got a couple different options for your colours of your pen, which you just click on this box and choose a selection of these colours. You can select how thick the line is by using that slider, and there's another option of the opacity if you want to change that. You've also got the option to add text. If you click on the A button, press once on the screen, press again to highlight the box, and then press it a final time, you can then control what is in that text box. So once you've erased that first bit of text, you can then type in your answer, and that is then visible to the teacher under My Whiteboard. And then if you wanted to draw different shapes, you can click on the different options that you've got, and those shapes again are customizable with things like color and size. And if you want to remove anything that's on your whiteboard, you can either click on the rubber and erase things that way. You might want to make the rubber a little bit bigger, or again there's the option for clear whiteboard at the bottom. So because Whiteboard.fi is just a website, you can run it at the same time as being on a Google Meet or a live lesson. It runs happily in the background, and you can use it with any device as touchscreen.